country and a pride in the brand. In America's heartland, living close to the land.
Farming and ranching is a full-time job by any measure, but nowadays more and more American growers are looking for additional ways to earn a living, and oftentimes that means helping others as well. That's the case with the dairy farmer in Washington state, who not only produces a major food product, he also makes sure that his animals and those of his neighbors are in perfect health.
You know, the nature of agriculture is we learn from each other, and I have probably a better opportunity than anybody to learn from my neighbors because I work for them.
It's a typical day for veterinarian Bill Wavrin making the rounds of dairy farms throughout eastern Washington.
How's it going today?
Good. How are you, Bill?
Good.
Bill's client is dairyman Tom DeVries, but his real patients are Tom's thousands of dairy cows, whose health is essential to the success of his farming operation. Optimum animal health is also a key factor in ensuring that the milk these cows produce is safe for consumers.
It sure seems like things have changed since we put that vaccine in. And
he usually comes out with new ideas, and I think he's very unique in that aspect of being a dairy farmer, a veterinarian, and he farms his own ground, so he has a experience in a lot of the areas that we end up having to deal with daily.
I probably use more of my skills that I was trained for at home than I do anywhere.
And home is this 3,800-acre spread where Bill, his family, and employees tend to more than 7,000 cows and calves. The Wavrins began their family dairy farming operation in the early 1990s. It was about the same time Bill hung out his veterinary shingle. Today, in this corner of America's dairy country, both of Bill's professions are flourishing.
It's just been a great sequence of fortunate events, some of it planned, some of it not planned, that has resulted in a life I sure love.
The Wavrin Farm is one of about 500 dairy operations here in Washington, a state that's become one of the nation's top 10 dairy producers. Dairy is its second biggest ag product, right behind apples. Each year, 250,000 Washington cows churn out 650 million gallons of milk.
60 acres left here, 80 acres behind that. We'll have her whipped.
Sounds good. We'll get going.
All right.
Today, Bill and his brother Sid also farm about 4,000 acres of wheat, corn, alfalfa, and other crops. Abundance coaxed from this arid soil thanks to irrigation and plenty of sunshine. With careful planning, Bill and Sid harvest crops at their nutritional peak. Then the entire plant, not just the grain or fruit, is collected, spread for drying, and then used to feed a hungry herd.
Milk doesn't start from the cow, it starts from a seed. And you add sunlight, CO2, and water, you grow a plant, you feed the plant to the animal creates food for humans. It's a miracle.
That appreciation for his cows and for the miracle of agriculture also impacts Bill's approach to animal care. Visit dairy farms across America, and you will see veterinarians willing to do the dirty work to make sure sick animals get well. Bill does the same, but his real passion is preventative medicine.
Animal well-being is largely driven by rest and nutrition. Thinking of ways to care for animals that precludes disease is the most rewarding. So really, from the standpoint of treating animals, if I'm unemployed in that regard, then I've done my job.
And we're putting 2 pounds of ground corn in place of the potatoes until you tell us something different.
Doing that job means carefully monitoring the cow's diet. Back at the DeVries dairy, Bill and Tom may spend hours on the computer, analyzing, mixing, and matching all kinds of dairy feed. At his own dairy, cows that have just given birth or are showing any signs of illness are immediately quarantined and milked away from the herd. The result, Bill says, can be fewer sick cows, a reduced need for antibiotics, and the promise of safer, healthier milk for consumers.
Rural America is still full of good people. That doesn't mean everything is perfect every day, but it's full of good people trying to do the right thing, and we know that the right thing is producing safe food, being good stewards of our resources, and good caretakers of the animals in our care.
There's nothing easy about dairy farming. It's long hours and hard work. But it's a life this family and many others have learned to cherish. A big part of that is their connection to the animals they care for and rely upon, and a shared sense of responsibility to the millions of people who buy their products.
Farmers don't create a farm, harvest the opportunities, and then leave. We're lifers. We're the people that bring you your breakfast, and that's a great source of satisfaction for our family, that's for sure.